and welcome.
It's 11 a.m. Plenary session is ongoing as usual in the Senate chamber, and there is no inkling as to what is about to happen. 11:15 a.m. Suddenly, there is noise at the entrance of a Senate chamber, taking lawmakers by surprise. As lawmakers try to understand the cause of the noise, some unidentified men and Senator Ovie Omagigi walk into the Senate chamber. What happens next disrupts proceedings. Pandemonium. Sergeant-at-arms at the National Assembly wrestle with the unidentified men for the maze. They overpower the security men and dash out of the National Assembly with the maze. There's uproar in the National Assembly. The lobby is jam-packed with people as parliamentary staff try to make sense of what just happened. Inside the Senate chamber, Deputy Senate President Pt.1 tries to maintain order. Meanwhile, Senator Ovie Omagigi looks on.
Please, we are going to a closed session. Everybody should leave here. Media, everybody should just leave this place.
The Senate immediately enters into a closed-door session, but the crowd of workers and reinforcement of police officers remain in the National Assembly lobby. Nearly 40 minutes later, the closed-door session ends. Another maze was brought out. The Deputy Senate President speaks his mind.
Let me quickly announce that at about 11:30 a.m. this morning, some thugs invaded the hallowed chambers of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me say that this Senate will deal with it fully. For today, in accordance with our mandate to represent the people of Nigeria, we sit here and we exhaust everything on our other papers.
In a show of solidarity, lawmakers in the House of Representatives move into the Senate chamber. The principal officers in both chambers present a united front.
We are about taking a resolution on it before members decided eventually that we must visit here, so solidarize not with you alone, to tell Nigerians that this State Assembly is going to make sure that democracy must work in Nigeria.
We are giving the Inspector General of Police and the Director SSS to recover our mess within 24 hours.
As this is ongoing, the man at the center of the controversy, Senator Ovie Omagigi, is seated in the Senate chamber, looking on. Plenary session ends, and journalists throng the embattled Senator Omagigi as he steps out of the Senate chamber. Senator Omagigi is apprehended by the police and escorted into a police vehicle. As calm gradually returns to the National Assembly, there are questions we demand urgent answers. How were unidentified men able to beat security, enter the Senate chamber, and snatch the mace, which is the symbol of authority in the Senate? Nigerians are waiting for these answers. Linda Akibi, Channels Television News.
Well, yes, indeed, those answers, they will keep waiting for them. But the police appear to be providing some response to a lot of the inquiries and the order given, as you heard, by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike. He presided over the proceedings there. But we've got this statement from Aremu Adeniro, who is a Deputy Force Public Relations Officer in the Force Headquarters at Abuja. Part of the statement reads, the police team engaged in massive raids of identified criminal spots and flashpoints, stop-and-search operations, visibility and confidence-building patrols, intelligence gathering, which forced the suspected miscreants to abandon the mace at a point under the flyover before the city gate where a patriotic passerby saw it and alerted the police. So it does appear as though the police are taking custody, or at least taking possession of the Mace, and from that statement, perhaps, I don't know where that passerby is. Let's go to Abuja. Magwe, you may know where that place is located. Go ahead, Magwe.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. Joining us right now is Major General Garba Wahab, who is the former Director of Operations, Army Headquarters, GOC-1 Division. He was also Chief of Army Administration, and he's with us here in our studios in Abuja. General, you're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
Now, I want to first of all quickly get your impressions before we go to what transpired 2 days ago, which is the senators calling for the sack of the service chiefs. What do you make of? What did you make of what happened yesterday in the Senate chambers? Were you in shock, as was everybody else?
Of course, everybody must be shocked about what really happened. But those who have been following the security situation in Nigeria will not really be surprised, because it was only during the height of the Boko Haram issue that a lot of serious security was taken around the National Assembly. After then, things had relaxed seriously. And it's normal for virtually all parts of Nigeria. Once something is on, everybody starts running helter-skelter. Over time, you forget what really happened, and everybody goes about their business without minding the consequences of what they're doing.
But the question is, how did thugs get in? There's so many checkpoints. I think yesterday on the news at 10, we had a description of the National Assembly and these different security gates that you have to go through. I know a number of times I've tried to go to the National Assembly, and it's always a headache to even get past the first gate. You know, you have to state clearly what you're there for. They make phone calls. You get to the one just by the foyer, just as you're about to get into the National Assembly. It's another round of screening, your bags going through the scanners. And then you had a number of thugs who went in, I mean, from what we saw in the pictures, with a senator, and then they ran in, took the mace, and ran out. You have to ask, do you suspect collusion, or do you think that the security apparatus just fell down and just couldn't act yesterday?
We have a problem in Nigeria, and that is somebody comes in and he works in a particular place, virtually all segments of the society, and he believes nobody should check him. And so those who are working there want to see a face. Oh, this is Wahab. I know Wahab. No matter who is coming with me, they are not bothered about, look, you are expected to have 2 people with you, 2 aides. Now you have about 6 or 7. What are these guys doing? And even if they challenge them and say, my friend, don't you know me? I'm so person. Get away, or I'll remove you from this place. So we get cowed by power, by authority, and we overuse the authority which we have. And that's part of what happened yesterday.